Southern Cross News with Joe Palmer.
Good evening, everyone. A 37-year-old Tasmanian man remains in the Royal Hobart Hospital following a serious single-vehicle rollover at Moyina yesterday. The female passenger was also taken to hospital for treatment. Police believe the Hyundai driver was trying to overtake several cars at the time he lost control and that alcohol was also involved. Our reporter Jessie Gilmore has more.
It was around 3:30 when police arrived here at the scene. It's understood the vehicle left the road, hitting the embankment just behind me before rolling several times. The vehicle was so badly damaged the driver had to be extracted by emergency services. Tasmania Police released a statement today saying the driver was attempting to overtake 4 other vehicles at the time of the incident. The passenger, a 37-year-old woman, was discharged from the Northwest Regional Hospital after receiving treatment for minor injuries late yesterday. The 37-year-old man remains in the Royal Hobart Hospital in a serious but stable condition. Police say it's pure luck no other drivers were killed or seriously injured. Investigations of the crash scene indicate alcohol and excessive speed were contributing factors. Tasmania Police is using this incident to remind motorists of the risks involved with drink driving. Anyone with more information in regards to the crash is asked to contact the Burnie Police Station.
Meanwhile, a man in his 60s from Acacia Hills has died as a result of a 2-car crash on Mersey Main Road at Tarleton between Latrobe and Sprayton this afternoon. The road is anticipated to remain closed for several hours while crash investigations are conducted. Motorists planning on travelling from Devonport to Latrobe are asked to travel along River Road. A man has been charged after allegedly punching a woman in the face during a street brawl in Devonport on Wednesday. A video of the incident was posted online and shows a number of people on Rook Street after the Devonport Cup. Police say the woman suffered a fractured eye socket. The 34-year-old Devonport man will appear at Devonport Magistrates Court in February over 2 counts of assault. Police are still interviewing a number of people in relation to the incident. A 23-year-old man has been arrested following a serious assault which left a man needing facial reconstruction surgery in the state's north on Wednesday. Police today establishing a crime scene at a unit in Waverley following the assault of the 48-year-old Prospect man. Officers spent the day at the address as they progressed their investigation.
This investigation is nowhere near complete and it is still underway and still ongoing. There's still massive amounts of work to be done in relation to it, and we are focusing on other offenders and suspects.
Police say the victim was found on the side of the road with multiple facial fractures. He remains in the intensive care unit at the Launceston General Hospital. There's been a significant development in plans to replace the ageing Bridgewater Bridge. The state government has submitted its business case for the multi-million-dollar project set to form the centrepiece of a new federal infrastructure agreement.
It's the weak link in one of Tasmania's most vital stretches of road, a piece of infrastructure plagued by faults. But now a significant milestone towards replacing the 70-year-old Bridgewater Bridge, the government submitting a business case for its 4-lane highway speed proposal.
We're very confident within 5 years or so we'll be building that bridge after this long delay of more than 20 years waiting for this bridge to get built.
The document identifies 3 major issues as a case for change: increasing traffic congestion with up to 23,000 vehicles passing over the bridge each day, ageing infrastructure constraining heavy vehicle operations, compromising productivity, and with the bridge nearing the end of its lifetime, costly maintenance.
Completely unproductive, it's dangerous in road safety terms, it's not safe. And at any given time, the structure of the bridge or the mechanism of the lifting mechanism could freeze.
For the Derwent Valley, a replacement bridge can't come soon enough as the region looks to capitalise on its water corridor.
Expansion for marinas, freshwater marinas, is actually huge, but we can't currently get the boats up the river because the bridge doesn't go up.
The business case is now subject to a cost-benefit analysis by Infrastructure Australia, which will provide a recommendation to the federal government on funding.
For some $570 million worth of funding at 80%, 20% for the state.
The proposal will form the centrepiece of a new 5-year federal infrastructure partnership to commence next year.
That's where we'll be arguing the Bridgewater Bridge. We've got a very strong case. It's before Infrastructure Australia now.
Streamlining that road from Hobart and to the northern parts of the state and the transport hub out here at Brighton will just open up so many more opportunities.
Opportunities now hinging on a new federal agreement. Jacqueline Robson, Southern Cross News.
The popular MOFO festival is heading to Launceston this weekend for the first time, injecting cutting-edge culture and thousands of dollars into the economy. Mona's Festival of Music and Art is in its 10th year and is expected to attract thousands from across the nation.
It's the weird, the wacky and the wonderful, a celebration of cutting-edge music, visual art and dance.
It's really a festival of open-minded programming and performance, and the idea is to bring the audience and the performers together and create a unity.
It's the first time the annual Hobart-based festival makes its way into Launceston, and it's set to attract a crowd of 10,000 over the weekend.
It's part of spreading the love around the state, and they do want us to try to break down the barriers between the north and the south, and the best way to do that is with music, art, food.
Amazing opportunity to play. So we've been able to get instruments out from the museum that we don't normally get to play. Keep listening, keep involved, you won't know what you're going to hear next.
As well as performances, crowds can take time out to relax on these hypnopods, which read your heartbeat and convert it to music. Local art exploring how the desire for speed has transformed our society is also on display for the curious. Exhibitors dubbing MOFO as an excellent platform for local artists.
Oh, it's incredibly significant for us. I believe that the whole MOFO experience here in Launceston is going to be absolutely wonderful. You can feel it in the air.
And they're here to stay.
We intend to move to Lonnie every January and also have a presence here during the year as well, developing projects. So you might see performances from us during the rest of the year as well.
Rita Risk, Southern Cross News.
Well, with finals action heating up at the Hobart International, what better time to reflect on what's made the event what it is today? Now celebrating its 25th year, we take a look back at some of the highlights and meet a couple of dedicated volunteers who've helped make it all possible.
No one knows the Hobart International better than the people who were there from the beginning.
Corporate boxes were all scaffolding and no covers and umbrellas flew everywhere.
It started off with 10 corporate boxes which we managed to get from the basketballs, set them up on the side of the court, and they promptly rained and the boards all warped.
It was in that first year that Japan's Mana Endo defeated Aussie wildcard Rachel McQuillan to become the inaugural champion, and from there the event has gathered a reputation as a launching pad for the sport's rising stars. In 2000, a fresh-faced 16-year-old from Belgium named Kim Clijsters took the title, going on to win 4 Grand Slams and become world number 1. 3 years later, Alicia Molik became the first Australian to win a WTA title in 8 years.
Alicia Molik's title, was fantastic here for the local fans, and having 5 defending champions this year playing in the tournament is fantastic.
In 2007, Serena Williams, then ranked 94 in the world, made a rather forgettable Hobart International debut, knocked out in the quarterfinals by a little-known Austrian. 2 weeks later, she'd go on to win the Australian Open.
Fans and spectators can get up close and see players before they launch their career and go off to Melbourne.
It was reigning Wimbledon champion and current world number 3 Garbine Muguruza's turn in 2014 before the tournament was given a boost 2 years later when fan favourite Eugenie Bouchard signed on. French woman Elise Cornet proving too good for the Canadian in the final. Elise Mertens claimed her first WTA title with victory last year before returning in 2018 to try and become the first player to claim the tournament twice. But today it was the volunteers' turn in an appreciation for decades spent making the event what it is today.
Tournament supported us volunteers, but we've supported them, and most of us have done 20 plus years.
It's nice to know that we've been a small part, a little cog in that machine.
Tom Cooper, Southern Cross News.
Hundreds of folk music fans are descending on the Huonville as the Signet Folk Festival kicks off tonight. People were getting into the swing of things today with early workshops including flamenco dancing and a fiddle masterclass. Festival organisers say the event is about sharing skills and talents.
The lovely thing about festivals like this is it's our key performers who offer to do workshops in their areas of expertise. So we have some of our, really top performers in their field doing workshops on their instrument or on songwriting.
The weekend includes performances from more than 100 acts across 13 venues in the town. 4 Tasmanian students are on their way to the Middle East tonight to share their experience with renewable energy. They've gained international attention for their project transforming Huonville High School with sustainable technologies.
Setting off on an adventure, students from Huonville High School leaving for the Middle East today with an invitation to Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week.
Oh, it's a very long flight. At the end, though, they'll spend a full week in Abu Dhabi. The experiences they'll have there with other students from around the world.
Everyone's very excited to have local teenagers going onto the international stage, Tasmanian teenagers going onto the international stage to represent our school, our community and our country.
They were involved in a project to revamp their school's energy usage, including the installation of 145 solar panels and battery storage.
It won't make Huonville High School 100% carbon neutral, but that is our ultimate aim for years to come, and to keep building on the Zyde Future Energy Prize project, and we hope to be a carbon neutral footprint.
This is the third year in a row Huonville High has sent representatives to Abu Dhabi. Last year the school was awarded the Zyde Future Energy Prize for their vision, with the prize money helping to fund installation.
It's not just about Huonville. With the students involved in the project that we've been doing has actually gained national and state, national and international attention. So it's about sustainability on a global scale, not just for Huon.
And standing behind the students are some very proud parents.
It's something that we really need to get our heads around and start thinking about. It's really important. This is the only world that we've got and we need to take care of it.
Michael Breen, Southern Cross News.
Community concerns over the potential expansion of fish farming off the coast of King Island is mounting. The Tasmanian government out today spruiking a $4 million education skills funding boost, which it says will help secure the future of the state's growing agriculture sector. But talk quickly turned to aquaculture concerns.
The former farmer was in his element, spruiking the state government skills fund.
$4 million worth of skills funding is there to support 25 registered training organisations to train and support the employment of 2,600 Tasmanians.
It's hoped a significant portion of those will boost the state's dairy industry. But talk quickly turned to the state's aquaculture sector and community fish farming concerns. Tassal was granted a research permit by the state government for King Island, a move seeing social media traction to protect its pristine beaches gain worldwide attention.
Come on, Tasmania and King Island. Are you kidding? This is the most pristine environment on the planet. Most beautiful beach breaks, beautiful beach. What are we doing to our environment?
The Minister for Primary Industries quick to shut down those concerns.
In the case of King Island, that there's a lot of water to go under the bridge yet. The Tasmanian government have only let Tassal have an exploration licence.
A view not shared by the state opposition parties.
Well, the consequences of salmon farming are very clear. Apart from the visual amenity, and the sea is for everybody. It means that people are locked out of those places once salmon farming is instituted.
I think we need to re-engage and develop that trust by having a properly regulated system that people can look at, understand and be confident with.
Tonight, the King Island community is expecting around 200 people to attend a meeting about Tassal's potential plans. A spokesperson for the group saying today there is a growing boycott of fin fish farms on the island, and the King Island economy is 100% dependent on its brand, which it feels will be tainted if it's associated with industrial fish farming. Tasal's response assured those concerned it's early days, saying it could be months if not years before it would determine if King Island is suitable for salmon farming. Those involved in the group hoping to protect King Island say they expect their campaign to run for at least 2 years. Jessie Gilmore, Southern Cross News.
Now a look at the day's business and finance with thanks to Tasplan, your local super fund. The Australian share market closed flat today. The ASX 200 index has risen by 2.5 points. A short time ago, the Australian dollar was trading at 78.79 US cents and 87.65 Japanese yen.
Elise Mertens is through to her second consecutive Hobart International final after bringing Heather Watson's impressive run to an end. Mertens claiming the first set before Watson fought back to force it into a third. But in the end, the Belgian proved too good, now vying to become the first player ever to claim 2 tournament titles. With both players hungry to make history, Watson had to fight for the first game as Mertens refused to let her get away on the scoreboard. The Belgian securing the first break of the match to shift things in her favour. But the Brit wouldn't let the first set get away so easy, making things interesting at 4-5. Mertens holding her nerve and the serve to close it out 6-4. Watson came out firing in the second, breaking the defending champ to give herself the edge at 3-1, before taking the next 3 in dominant fashion to force things to a third set. Undeterred, the Belgian hit back, producing some gutsy brilliance to break through at 3-1. From there, it was all Mertens, dropping just one more game to take the set 6-2 and setting herself up for a shot at history when she faces either Liza Sarenko or Mihaela Buzanescu in tomorrow's final.
Well, I guess I tried to maybe play a bit more aggressive, make her run a little bit more. She was dictating me the second set. All credits to her. She played an amazing match.
Good evening. Hobart's 29 was the state's high today. Launceston reached 26, Burnie 20 and Devonport 22. Fine and humid conditions preceded the change as a cold front passed over the state with a few isolated thunderstorms, mainly over Bass Strait and the north. The highest fall was 7 millimetres at Luncheon Hill. Campania, Grove, Bushy Park and King Island 28 degrees. Strawn and Flinders Island reached 25 today. St Helens and Friendly Beaches 23, Lowhead 21 and Wynyard 20. Now the frontal band is over Tasmania, extending northwest over the mainland, right up and through the country to Tropical Cyclone Joyce over the northwest. A cold air mass is over the Bight with some convective cloud over the far northern tropics. Now, there's the close-up and the cloud picture right over the state today. Enough said. Tomorrow the front is off to the east. A trough extends over New South Wales, Queensland and the Northern Territory. Joyce makes landfall over Western Australia. Winds west to southwesterly at 15 to 25 knots over the north and west and to 20 knots elsewhere. Swells to 3 metres in southern waters. Strong wind warning is on from Sandy Cape to Stanley. And for Saturday, a showery day for Hobart. 18 the top. We're dropping down low, aren't we? Just 15 for Maydena and 16 for Oatlands. Launceston a change as well. Showery and 20, 19 for Devonport, just 12 for Lyowini. For Burnie tomorrow, showers and 20, 17 the top for Strawn, Marrawar showers as well and 18. And for the east, showers, St Helens 19, 18 for Swansea and Orford, but the UV still sits in the very high range. On Sunday, a shower over the west and south and maybe a morning shower over the east. Showers over the west and south on Monday, otherwise fine but partly cloudy. Fine on Tuesday, a little cloud over the west and northwest. Sunny and 37 in Perth, a shower for Adelaide and Canberra, but possible storms for Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Darwin and Alice Springs. And the rain's still about 19 degrees in Hobart, rainy in Launceston and Devonport, currently 17 degrees. Bit of wet weather around, Joe. Hope it doesn't get in the way with all the events that are on.
Busy weekend. Thanks so much for that, Murph. And that's all from the crew for now. Thanks for joining us. Bye.